Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to Pageant Sit Down. My name's Regina Elena, and I am so excited for all of you to be here today. Just a quick reminder, if you are watching on Monday, if you are new, hi, welcome. So as of today, the Pageant Sit Down will only be on Wednesdays with Canada Galaxy coming up. There's a lot of pageant prep that goes with it, and then it's time to shuffle my focus and start preparing myself for internationals. So with that, we will only be live once a week instead of twice a week, but that's okay because all of our guests coming up are amazing, including today's guest. She has been competing in pageants for a while. On Monday, we had a Miss Congeniality. On Wednesday, we now have another Miss Congeniality, but not only was she Miss Congeniality, she is none other than Miss Teen Galaxy Eastern Passage 2020-21, Machara MacNeil. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the Pageant Down. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm very excited to be here and to talk to you.
Well, I'm super excited to get to know you a little bit more. And for those who don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Machara. I'm 17. I'm from Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia. I'm a Highland dancer. I've been dancing since I was about 2 years old. I love doing pageants. I've been doing them for about 2.5 years now. I also really like reading and writing. That's something I'm really passionate about.
Wow. So you pageant dance and you also, you pageant dance. You dance, you do pageantry. That is amazing. So there are a few people who are watching. I know some of them are your dance friends. So how long have you been dancing for?
I've been dancing for about 15 years, if I'm doing that math. My sister was a Highland dancer, so I was always seeing her dancing and I always wanted to try it. And I have been in the Highland dance community since then, and I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I competed in the tattoo in Nova Scotia, or dance in the tattoo, with my best friends. I had the opportunity to dance for the Queen of England in Braemar, Scotland.
No way.
It was so incredible. It's still really crazy to think about, but yeah, dance has always been a huge part of my life, and it has taken me to some incredible places.
Okay, so first off, dancing in front of the Queen, what was that like for you?
It was really surreal. So my dance team had planned this trip to Scotland. We were going to go compete at Worlds. We were all super excited for it, and my mom was like, hey, if you're up to it, you can send your resume into the Braemar Highland Games, which I had heard of, but I had never even thought of trying to dance. And I was like, well, I have nothing to lose. We're going to be in Scotland, so I might as well try. And about 2 weeks before we left, I got a letter back that said I was accepted. I have my number and everything in it. Seeing her, she was right in front of me in her car. She drove past me. It was crazy. Just the whole day. It was so surreal. It did not feel real. It still doesn't feel real, but I loved every minute of it.
That is so crazy. That's awesome. I mean, to be able to dance in Scotland, but then to be able to dance in front of the Queen, that takes it to a whole other level.
It's so crazy. And the royal family was there, and they're all sitting up in this little box. It was crazy. It was so cool.
Wow. That has to be maybe one of the best things I've ever heard. Well, that's great that you were able to, there's people in the chats. It's so great that you're able to take your passion for dance to Scotland, but then also share not only with the royal family, but with everyone that's there. So in that, we have Sherry Handicrafts all the way from the Philippines watching. We have Sarah Edmonds in the chat. She says hello. And Christmas time, she says, or they say, brap. Hello. Well, if any of you who are watching have any questions, be sure to leave them in the live chats down below, and I'll be sure to ask her for you. So speaking of Scotland, there's a photo behind you. Is that a cow?
So it was a cow. So the Scottish term is a heeling coo, which was one of my favorite things to say when I was younger. But cows are my favorite animal. Highland cows, especially, I love them. So when I was traveling around Scotland, especially with my mom, they were everywhere, and I just love them. So we saw this picture, and we thought it would be cute to put up in this room because we kind of share it as like an office.
Mhm.
So I love cats. They're my favorite animal.
Have you seen those mini cows that like people have as pets?
Yes, I love them. I think they're so cool.
Would you get one?
I definitely would. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh my god, they're so cute. They're so hairy too.
Yeah. Oh, I love them. I think they're so pretty.
They are. All right, well, we're here talking a lot about your dance and your Scottish heritage, but this is called the Pageant Sit Down. And off the top, I had mentioned that you were Miss Congeniality, but you've also been competing in a few other pageants. Can you tell us a little bit about your pageant journey?
Yeah, so my first pageant was a community pageant in Eastern Passage. I actually danced there. In between sections of the show, they brought my dance school in to dance on the stage while the girls were changing. And I always thought it was so cool that they got to go up and they got to do speeches, which is something I love. I love public speaking. So I decided I would try it, and I loved it. It was 2 days, and I loved it. I ended up winning Queen.
Nice.
I got to stand up on stage in front of the community and do a speech on period poverty, which was something I'm really passionate about, and I was hooked. So then I decided to do Miss Teenage Nova Scotia, which was online at the time, just because the pageant community here is pretty small. And I advanced to Miss Teenage Canada, which was a week long. I loved it. I could not explain how much I loved that week. I advanced to the top 12. I was in the top 4 for talent, where I also danced. And I ended up winning Miss Congeniality and Miss People's Choice, which was
amazing.
Really surreal.
Now you are on your way to Canada Galaxy.
Yes.
What has that been like for you? You started in a local pageant, and then you did a virtual pageant before virtual pageants were a thing, and then you made your way to Miss Teen Canada or Teach Canada. That must have been exciting and very different, I guess, than most pageant journeys, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty different. At first I was really nervous because I felt like I was the only person that was going to be new there. Obviously, my pageant journey was a little different than the rest. But I think it was really just an opportunity for me to get to know myself and learn to be sure of myself and kind of grow my confidence. Because before pageants, I really was not confident at all. And, walking across the stage in a really sparkly dress doesn't really leave room for, self-deprecation. So that's, I think, what I love most about pageants is not only is it a form of expression and I have a platform for issues that I care about, but it really is what motivates me to stay confident and stay, I guess, true to myself.
It's amazing. Well, what is your pageant platform? You mentioned it a little bit.
So my platform is poverty and food insecurity. So, my best friend always came to school without a lunch, and it used to really bother me. So I started, bringing lunches for her, just because I couldn't fathom going to school, like on an empty stomach, and it affected her so much. And then moving to Halifax from New Brunswick, you see poverty on the streets here everywhere, and it never sat right with me. So I decided that if no one was going themselves, I was going to do my best. So I started with my period poverty speech, and then that kind of progressed into what I'm doing now, so donations and fundraisers. I had the opportunity to talk to Justin Trudeau with my school, which was incredible.
Oh.
And I got to talk to him about what Canada's plan was for, to aid homelessness in Canada, because it really is huge. I think the statistic is 1 in 10 Canadians report facing food insecurity in their households. So it's something I want to try to tackle because it's such a big problem in Canada.
Oh, for sure. Well, if people watching were interested in maybe supporting your platform, where can people find more information?
So I personally support my local food banks, and they are usually your best bet if you want to, aid poverty and homelessness in your communities, because if you're donating it to your community food banks, it's going straight to where it's needed. I also support Feed Nova Scotia, which there is every province, and they're an incredible organization. But also, Food Banks Canada is another one that I did a fundraiser with last summer, with Dance Canada, actually. But yeah, definitely the best thing I would say to do is to support your communities and to support small businesses. But yeah, especially community food banks is the best way to go.
Awesome. That's good to know. So we'll make sure that everyone and nobody goes hungry. But I think it's great that your story kind of started from a personal journey with your best friend, and now seeing how you started with your best friend and now you're moving to the country. I think that's very inspiring and impressive, because sometimes people just pick one just to say they have one, like a platform, but yours really came from the heart, and I think that's inspiring, and that also, I guess, pushes your motivation even further to where you met with Justin Trudeau to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, you are on this journey to Galaxy, and with Galaxy comes a lot of appearances. Have your appearances kind of stuck with your platform?
Yeah. Obviously, I've been working this summer, so I haven't had too much time off, but on all of my days off, I'm doing pageant prep. So, because a lot of facilities in Nova Scotia aren't open, just because our COVID rules are really strict, I've been doing a lot of drop-offs at community bins. So we have Brothers Big Sisters, and also Valley Village is now donating to Canadian Diabetes as well. So I've been donating there. I did a donation as well with my community food bank. They just got to open up again, which was great for them because they are really small and they do struggle a lot. But yeah, once things started opening, I was so excited just to get back into the community and help, because it's been so long since I was really able to. So it felt really good to finally, get back on track.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you are at the Atlantic bubble, so you guys are starting to open up more, which is great. I know you guys were in lockdown for a little bit, not as much as Toronto or Ontario, but you definitely started to open up. What has it been like for you preparing for Canada Galaxy during this pandemic?
Very hectic, in a way, especially during the summer, since I'm working and I have pageant prep and then also appearances and things like that. But
I think you cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. I heard pageant prep.
Yeah, so I spend most of my days off doing pageant prep over the summer because I'm working. But during the actual lockdown, when I wasn't going to school, I felt this lull of I didn't want to prep. I didn't the motivation wasn't there because I couldn't do appearances. I couldn't do things with my pageant sisters, which was something I really looked forward to. But as we got closer, and honestly, as the sun started shining more, I got into a really good mindset, and I was walking my heels every day and planning my outfits. So honestly, as soon as the sun started shining again, I just got super motivated, and I started getting really excited because I started getting back into that pageant mindset, which is where I want to be pretty much during the whole year. But Yeah,
Hmm.
it was hard at first, but once I got out of that kind of rut that I was in, it was like breathing. It was so easy.
That's amazing. Well, I guess, because you've been doing pageants for a few years now, so it must be second nature for you to just put your heels back on. But
Yeah,
I love how you were saying when the sun literally came out,
yeah.
your pageant juice, pageant bug, I don't know, was reenact I can't speak today. Reactivated. There
Yeah.
you go. That's amazing. Well, Galaxy is in less than a few weeks away now, actually, less than a month away. What are you going to be doing to keep yourself busy and motivated? If the sun does go down, but just to keep
Yeah.
yourself motivated for your pageant prep.
So actually, I'm going to travel. I'm going to Alberta and BC to see some of my friends and my family out there. So I'm traveling with my mom. And in those weeks, I find being out of the house and I find that really fuels me to get excited. I'm planning on volunteering out there because I have so much extra time. So I think being out there is going to help a lot, but also I'll have time to write, which is something that keeps me very motivated.
Wow.
Keeping track of everything and writing, having the opportunity to get up and get dressed every day in something that's not my work uniform really motivates me. Fashion really motivates me. So the fact that I'll have so much free time out there is really what is keeping me excited for the pageant.
Well, that's exciting. So you're going from East Coast to West and then Central when you come to
Yeah,
Toronto. You're going to be traveling a lot,
I'm
but it's you haven't traveled in over a year. I think it's worth it.
yes, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you mentioned your mom a lot during this interview, and I know I've connected with your mom as well. She seems such a great support system for you. What was it like for her, or is she the reason why you got into pageants? Because I know sometimes moms sign up their daughters, or was she just a big support since the beginning?
So my mom, I'm super close with my family. I spend like 90% of my time with my family, but I spend so much time with my mom, and I told her I wanted to do a pageant, and she kind of just said sure. She was going to support 100%. She's the one who brought the idea of me doing Miss Teenage Nova Scotia, actually, and I was all for it. So she is what keeps me going most days when I am in that rut, actually. So especially during the winter when I wasn't feeling pageants, when I wasn't feeling like I had anything to look forward to, she was what kept me going. So she's super supportive. She traveled everywhere with me. She took me to my photo shoot in Sydney.
Wow.
She drives to my pageant. She's like got our plane ticket. So she, like, this whole room, you can't see it, is basically dedicated to our pageants. So yeah, she is definitely the reason I'm able to do.
That's amazing. Well, if it wasn't for your mom, then what was it that got you into pageantry?
I wanted a platform. I was doing pageants. I was in the state of like, I have so many things to say and I have nowhere to say it. I was kind of in this mindset that my voice didn't deserve to be heard, or someone. I was kind of used to having someone to whisper in their ear and then they would talk for me. I wouldn't.
Oh, lost you a little bit again. Sorry. Not sure what happened.
That's okay. My Wi-Fi might cut out a little bit. I just had so much to say and I had nowhere to say it. And I thought pageants almost always have a section where you can talk about a platform, or you can do a speech, or a Q&A kind of thing. So I thought it would be fun. And my first pageant where I got to go up on stage and talk about climate change and poverty was really what hooked me. That taste of feeling like my voice mattered was really what got me. And pageants are what taught me that my voice was valuable and that my voice deserved to be heard. So I think even if it wasn't for my mom, I would still be hooked on pageants because they were what taught me that my voice deserved to be heard and that my voice was valuable.
Well, your voice is being heard now, and there are lots of people tuned in. There's about 10 of you watching right now. So first off, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I love that you mentioned where you once felt voiceless, but now you found your voice and you're ready to use it, and you're using it for the better cause. Speaking about climate change, speaking of Justin Trudeau, speaking about homelessness in Canada, I think you found your voice, you're using it, and you're using it for the better. But using your voice so kind of does coincide with our next segment on the show, which is 5 tips from a beauty queen. So what would be your 5 pageant tips for all of those watching us today?
Okay, so coming from having to travel to Ontario, obviously, you can't take your 5 suitcases you may or may not need. So I would recommend to any girl that is also like Ontario or Alberta to get a sky roll. I used my sky roll for dance forever. It's basically a suitcase with a garment bag that rolls around it, and I can keep my essentials in there. I keep my shoes, my dresses, my jewelry, like everything goes in there, and I don't lose anything, which is a lot of stress on my shoulders. I love my sky roll. Any girl that is not near Ontario or Alberta should definitely get one if you need to travel for a pageant. The next one would be to wear your shoes beforehand, which I know everyone says, and they say, practice minutes a day, but from someone who went from not being able to walk in a kitten heel to now wearing like huge heels, it's so worth it. Honestly, I will wear my shoes pretty much every day, so I know, when I get on stage, I'm confident in my shoes. I know where I'm walking. I know how I'm posing, and I also, don't get up on stage nervous about if my shoes don't fit correctly or not feeling completely confident. So definitely wear your shoes beforehand. The next one, I wrote them down, so I'm looking at them right here. Make sure you love the clothes you're in. I personally use fashion kind of as a motivation every day. It's what makes me happy. I love it. But for anyone, make sure you love the clothes you're wearing, your evening gown, your interview, your rehearsal outfit, any of that. Make sure you love it, because that confidence that clothes is going to give you is really going to shine through on stage. So, if you don't feel completely comfortable in your dress, or you're not really sure of your interview, get it altered, get it changed. It is so worth it to wear clothes that you really love. The next one would be, obviously, friends and family and a good support system is, essential to pageants, but you need to be your own biggest supporter. You need to be your own best friend. I wrote an article on this that was in the Sophia Leah magazine about being your own best friend. And, I went from feeling like I had no one to the only person I really need is myself. And waking up every day and telling yourself that you love yourself or that you're confident, even if you don't believe it at first, you eventually will, and it's so worth it to get to that point. My last one is that self-care is every day. Self-care is not, the week before pageant week or pageant week itself. It is every single day, and it's not just, a face mask or getting nails done or, hydration. It is getting up every day and doing something that makes you happy. It's making yourself get out of bed and brush your teeth if that's hard for you. It's, getting up every day. For me personally, it's putting on an outfit that I feel good in. Self-care and self-love is something that is really difficult, but once you get to the point, it's so worth it, and it makes your life so much better.
Mm-hmm. And so those are 5 amazing tips don't know what's going on. I think my computer is. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you see me? Because I don't know what is going on my computer. Probably not. There you go. Now you can see me. Sorry, they can't.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I was going to say those are 5 amazing tips. And I think, talking a lot about self-love and self-care is very important, especially where we've actually had maybe too much time to think about our own lives. And I know it's also something that you wanted to talk about. So if you would like to talk about it on a deeper level, now's the chance.
Yeah, so I have gone from absolutely not liking who I was or any part of me, my appearance, my personality, anything, to being my own best friend and genuinely liking who I am and loving what I look like and what I wear. And it was, I hit, I guess, like my lowest point. I felt like I had no friends. I didn't have anyone to confide into besides my mom. I kind of decided that if someone else was going to fix my problem, so I had to fix it myself. So I started getting up every day and putting on an outfit that and fashion, as I said, became kind of like an outlet for me. And I started writing every day, genuinely at anything that I thought I would write down in my notebook. It also became for me, people who deal with mental illness, especially depression like me, waking up every day and doing basic hygiene is so worth it in the end, and it becomes second nature. So self-care and self-love is not just what we see, through social media, which is usually like, face masks and getting your hair done, getting your nails done kind of thing. And although those are great, and I love to do it, it's not all self-care. Self-care is so much more than when we think. Self-care is waking up every day and doing something for yourself, even if that makes you feel selfish.
Well, I think, you being on here and talk your journey through, your self-growth is very inspiring. And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. And, you talk about writing and self-love and fashion, being able to express yourself. I think that's amazing. Some people, it is hard to get out of bed in the morning, like you said, and just personal hygiene can be hard. But I'm glad and I'm grateful that you were able to find the motivation to get out of bed and to love yourself, because once you love yourself, you can love the world, and that's probably your miscongeniality.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you can get out of bed every day and put something in your body, you have a successful day, and that's all you need. And I think at its root, that's what self-care is.
100%. Well, if people wanted to find more about you, wanted to follow your journey, where can they find you?
So my pageant Instagram is macaralita.anastasia. So there, my personal is just machara.macneil. But for most of my stuff I'll post it on my pageant account.
Perfect. And so the links are in the description. So after today's show, make sure to follow her. I do apologize to the viewers. I think something is going on with my system, that it's slowed down completely. So if there is a lag or a delay or it's freezy, I do apologize. As long as you can hear our audio, I think that's the most important part. So you talk a lot about self-love. You talk a lot about self-growth. Do you think competing in pageants helped you with that?
Definitely. I think pageants was the beginning of that. You can't really, I said it before, you can't go into a pageant with a bad mindset. So, the weeks, not even the weeks, the months before, I, spent every day kind of convincing myself that I was confident for pageant, and in the end, it became real confidence. And I tell everyone that fake confidence turns real very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, for sure.
the weeks leading up to pageant, I knew that if I got there and I didn't win, I was still going to be happy because I was proud of the progress I had made, since I first did my pageant, my community pageant. So getting there and walking across that stage, that was really all I needed, and I felt so good. And the year after that, and then doing Galaxy as well, really was when I had to take a step back and learn to take care of myself properly and to love myself and to accept myself. So pageants are really is the reason that I started to take care of myself and to love myself.
I think that's the story for a lot of people. I know that's my story as well. As when they say you find self-confidence on stage, it's true. There's so many skills that you gain out of pageantry, but the number one thing is self-confidence. And so when you are at the lowest of lows, the minute you get on stage, something happens. And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Where fake confidence becomes real confidence, and maybe you're just manifesting it, telling yourself, I got this, and then you do. So I'm glad that you were able to find who you really are on stage and off stage now too. So I do want to ask you, and it's something that I love to ask my guests, is you are in the teen division, you still have a long way to go in pageantry. What would be your dream pageant title to have?
That's a really tough question because I think I would be happy with any title. And I mean that in the most honest way possible, because I think with any title, you have a platform and you have something to do with it. Even having Miss Congeniality, that title is enough for me to feel like I have a platform. And so I think, honestly, any title would be enough for me to be happy with it. I mean, I am absolutely ecstatic to be representing my town, as Miss Teen Eastern Passage, Miss Teen Galaxy Eastern Passage. I think any title is really worth to be excited about.
Well, that's a good answer. It's a very diplomatic pageant answer, actually. I love that. Well, you also mentioned fashion, and fashion being one of your outlets. Galaxy is a very fashionista pageant. What inspires you to pick your pageant outfits?
I want to pick my pageant outfits as, not only something that I love when I first see it, but when I put it on, I feel like myself. I don't feel like I'm putting on a face for the stage. I really want to feel like myself, and I want other people to see part of myself in my outfits, which is why I love picking out my pageant outfits. I'm so excited for it. But what I love about fashion is that you can always see something about someone through their clothing. That's what I love about Galaxy, is that, even in every aspect, you get to show part of yourself.
It's true. Well, I'm now excited to see what you're going to show up in for orientation and rehearsals. It becomes this fashion show, and I think, with the interview being in a closed door setting, it just becomes a runway on stage. So I cannot wait to see what outfits you come up with, to see your personality through your clothes. I cannot. Honestly, I think something that I am looking most forward to is seeing everyone decked out in their best. It's been over a year. Why not?
That's what I'm really looking forward to. That's what I looked forward to when I was going to Miss Teenage Canada, was not only picking out my outfits because it was a whole week, but to see what everyone else wore and to see everyone's dresses on final night. I think you can see part of who someone is in their evening gown dresses.
True.
Which is, I think, why it is one of my categories, evening gown. You you pick your dress for a reason, and you can almost always see someone always has their perfect dress, and that's what I love about it.
I was actually going to ask you what your favorite segment was, but you beat me to it.
Definitely evening gown.
I
Definitely
love that.
gown. I mean, I love that Galaxy has.
Cut off again.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I love that Galaxy has a fashion portion, and it is one of the reasons I was through it. But I love evening gown. It is always my favorite. It's what I love watching at Miss Universe, because you don't see that much of the delegates during the week. So seeing everyone in their evening gowns, I think, is when you see who they are, and I love that.
Me too. Okay, so what are you looking most forward to being able to come back to pageant land?
Well, obviously, I really am excited to wear my evening gown because I love my dress, but also I'm so excited to meet everyone, which I know everyone always says they're so excited, but some of my best friendships have come from pageants. I'm excited to be there with my pageant sisters, from Halifax, because we haven't got to talk much outside of our group chat because of lockdown. And I'm really just excited to be there with everyone, and the energy from Pageant Week is something that you cannot replicate. So I'm really excited for that.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to feel everyone's energy. I know that a lot of you have your own group chats, whether it be as provincial, by town, by division. What it been like getting to know all the Galaxy girls during this 2 years?
Honestly, so when I first Galaxy, I immediately went and created like a bunch of the Galaxy girls, and they're honestly so extraordinary. Like, just all of them. I love seeing what everyone is doing. Not even just, I love seeing age group like from the other age groups. It's like just the most incredible group of women, which is another thing I really love about pageants.
Yes, well, it's going to be a great time. I already know that. I know, for those who are wondering, Canada Galaxy Pageants is happening at the end of August. But don't worry, there will be a lot of precautions that are taking place. Everyone needs to do a COVID test, so everyone has a negative test. You can come in. We will be wearing masks, we'll be staying safe, we'll be staying distant, but not so distant that we don't get to spend quality time with each other. Well, I'm glad, that you were able to find another system that you were able to connect with the people. And I think that you're going to have an amazing time. But what is something that we can look forward to or can expect from you going into Canada Galaxy?
Definitely just not only how excited I am to go there, but how passionate I am about my platform. My platform I have been working on since before pageants. It's something I've always wanted to work with and, to aid poverty. So the next few weeks, obviously I'll be traveling, but I still have plans. So I think, come pageant week, I am just going to be so ready to talk to everyone about my platform and really, get my voice out there. So if there's anything you can expect from me, it is my passion in my platform and my pride in my province.
Well, I cannot wait. Are you going to come in with your flag?
Oh my gosh, of course. That actually was something I was known for as Teenage Canada, was that every time we would FaceTime, I would have my little Nova Scotia flag. So
where is it now?
Oh my gosh, I think it's in my room. That's where it usually is. But I was the only person from the East Coast. I was the only person from Nova Scotia. So when I got there, it was just full-blown Nova Scotia pride the whole week. So I was known for my little Nova Scotia flag that I carried everywhere.
I love that.
Which I will be bringing to Galaxy.
I can't wait to see it. Well, there's going to be a lot of you actually from Nova Scotia and the East Coast.
I'm very excited.
So,
I'm very excited. that.
We have the Atlantic bubble coming to Toronto, and I cannot wait. It's going to be, honestly, I've been with Galaxy since it started. I competed in 2019 and I still haven't left. So it's going to be an awesome time and just an awesome way to finish this pandemic. Let's be real.
Yeah. Pageants were really what kept me going during the pandemic. Dance was down, it was on Zoom, but like pageants were always kind of there at the back of my mind. So like the first lockdown, Miss Teenage Canada was at the back of my mind, and since then it's all about Galaxy, and it is really what has kept me going.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you found something to keep you going and motivated. And of course, there's always dance. Unfortunately, there's no talent competition at Galaxy, but I would love to see you dance. And if there's one that maybe was interested in learning more about your dance troupe, where can they find it?
So I dance. My dance teacher is Jennifer Worthen. So I dance in School of Highland Dance, which is based in Dartmouth. But there are dances everywhere. No matter where they are, I can definitely find them a teacher. I my audio cut out. Wait, I think my audio cut out. I didn't hear that.
No worries. You know what? It happens. This is a live all the time. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. No idea what's been going on.
Okay.
Both sides on our end are glitching a little bit, but again, this is what happens when you have virtual talk shows, you know. But I was asking you questions about dance, but now I forgot what I was trying to say. But that's okay. So besides dance and besides pageantry and besides writing, what do you like to do on your free time?
So I do spend a lot of time writing, but I really like to spend time in Halifax. So most nights drives around Halifax or go for walks around Halifax because I love history and I've always loved history. And Halifax is so full of it that I really just see everything there. It's honestly, if you have the chance to go to Halifax, honestly, spend a day walking around and looking out at all of the historic properties. It's so interesting. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I've never been to the East Coast, but I would love to.
It's a good time to come to the East Coast.
I would love to. I know one of my friends from Ontario. She, when the bubble started to open up, I think she went back or she went to visit Nova Scotia in the beginning of right before the pandemic hit. And then during the pandemic, she, of course, once the world started to open up again, I think she bought a place there. So it must be worth it.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance, you need to. I've been telling all of my friends out west that they need to come to Nova Scotia. So, yeah, if you ever get the chance, you need to come.
Well, what is there to do in Halifax or Nova Scotia?
So, my mom is from near Cape Breton. She's from Mulgrave, and my dad's from Cape Breton. So obviously, there's the trail. Just driving around Cape Breton is very nice, but I love the city, and that's why I love Halifax. So there's so much to do there. I like walking along the waterfront because like the buskers there, everything I love. Actually, me and one of my best friends from dance used to go down to the water every day and busk while the cruise ships were there, which is one of my favorites to do. Oh, it was so fun. There's the Busker Festival at the end of the summer. or you can come to Eastern Passage. Because it's a really small community. It's Old Fishing Town. I like going down. I work down at Fisherman's Cove, which is this little tourist spot. It is so sweet. Everyone there is incredible. Genuinely, you could go into every shop and spend an hour there just talking to the owners, or you can talk to people in there. Is because everyone in this community, you feel at home, which is what I love about it. So, and I think that is the culture, not just but in the Maritimes. So, anywhere you go in Nova Scotia, you are going to feel at home. People there want to make you feel at home, and that is one of the things. That's probably my favorite thing about Nova Scotia, is that everyone here is just so excited to see you and talk to you and get to know you.
It's amazing. Well, hopefully one day we'll be able to make our way East Coast. Maybe Galaxy will be in the East Coast since there's so many of you coming.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be incredible.
It would be. But as we start to wrap, is there any last words you'd like to say to our viewers?
Well, obviously, thank you for watch me because it's so exciting. I've been looking forward to this for weeks. I'm so excited for Galaxy. I'm really excited to share my message at Nova Scotia Pride on stage and to have a platform, talk about my platform. I'm really grateful to have had this opportunity to talk with you. But yeah, I'm so excited for Galaxy, and I can't wait to see everyone there.
Love that. Meet you in person. And thank you so much for Rory and using your voice on our show. And one last time, if people wanted to find you and follow your journey, where can they follow you?
My pageant account is Machara Anastasia, and my personal account is Machara.MacNeil.
Perfect. So be sure to check her out on Instagram. The link is in the description for her pageant profile. And I also included your Galaxy page there as well. So be sure to read up her bio, check out her photos. But again, I'm so excited to have had you on the show. And I know, again, there's been some technical glitches. I'm not sure why. It seems to be on both ends. Maybe that's why. But that's okay. You know, it happens. It's a virtual world. And luckily, when we see each other next, it'll be in person. So if all of you enjoyed today's episode, minus the technical issues, give it a thumbs up. Again, Pageant's Down moving forward will only go live on Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So subscribe to this channel if you enjoy or just like hearing us talk. Machara, I hope I said that right this time. I do apologize. I cannot wait to see you in person. I can't wait to see your fashion and to see you Nova Scotian pride. But until then, enjoy your trip across this country, and I'll see you in Ontario. And to everyone else, I'll see you next week. Bye!